On a dark desert highway, cold wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night.
There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. And I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Hey, such a lovely place.
Such a lovely place.
Such a lovely face. Living it up at the Hotel California. Wah-ha-ha.
Whoa-ha, whoa-ha. Whoa-ha-ha, whoa-ha-ha-ha. Whoa-ha-ha, whoa-ha-ha. Whoa-ha-ha, whoa-ha-ha-ha. Whoa-ha-ha, whoa-ha-ha. Whoa-ha-ha, whoa-ha-ha-ha. Whoa-ha-ha, whoa-ha-ha. Whoa-ha-ha, whoa-ha-ha-ha. Whoa-ha-ha, whoa-ha-ha.
Wah-ha-ha, wah-ha-ha-ha. Wah-ha-ha, wah-ha-ha. Wah-ha-ha, wah-ha-ha-ha. Wah-ha-ha-ha-ha. Wah-ha-ha, wah-ha. Wah-ha-ha, wah-ha-ha-ha. Wah-ha-ha, wah-ha-ha. Wah-ha-ha, wah-ha-ha-ha. Wah-ha-ha, wah-ha. That is so fucking stupid.
Everybody, welcome back to the Blackest Show About Nothing. It's Jade and XD. Yes, aka I am the nay in your who.
Oh, I'm the who to your nay. Hey.
Yeah. Well, we're back once again with an illustrious week of nothingness.
What if?
I can't hear you, so.
Oh, sorry. So, we have an anniversary coming up soon.
Okay.
What if we changed our woe-ha-has to nehus?
Nehu, nehu, nehu. Nehu, nehu, nehu.
Nehu,
nehu, nehu. Ne, nehu, ne, nehu.
Ne, ne, nehu, ne, nehu, nehu, nehu,
ne, ne.
nehu, ne, nehu. Ne, nehu. Never mind. Let's just change. Let's keep it on. It wasn't that.
Oh, bye. You okay?
Trial and error.
Glad we worked that out.
Yeah. What is?
How was your week?
Oh, week has been good. You know, head down. Girls been plating. Okay. I said, let me tap into my Asian roots. I don't even know if there's any there, but when it comes to attention to detail, they are the best in the world. They just are. So I was like, let me tap into whatever that is, because nigga, I don't usually have that, and figure out how to make these plates pretty. You know what I'm saying? Because the nigga got the flavors down, but when it comes to plating, whoa Nelly. So
that's I understand.
Well, Nelly. So yeah, I have been very, very uber focused on that. It has been just a lot of like recording school, and I don't really have much more than that. My classmates continue to remind me of things. I had one today. I love him. He knows the flavors. His daddy sent some pepper sauce for me. It is delicious. From a Nigerian lady at his job. I know that's a lot, but it's good and it was worth it. And so I like working with him because he knows flavor, right? He's Filipino, but he was raised around niggas. It's one of those situations. So, yeah. So,
he from Virginia?
No. Jersey.
Or the Bay. Oh.
Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because he says things and it'd be like, it's not like appropriate. It's like more like, who you been around? Who have you been around?
Yeah.
So he was on my team today and we're working together. Everything is good. And I start singing, I don't know, one of Ben's songs. Ponytails, Brown Leather Jackets. I'm singing one of those. You all see the kind of mood we're in. And he starts singing along with me, right? Just like, we just singing along, just singing and working. And he's like, man, I was like, look at you. I was like, that's my jam. He's like, I know. He's like, I know all those songs because when I would go on road trips with my parents, that's what they would play. And that's the same one.
Same.
That's the same one who said to me before. He was like, oh, you're the same age as my mom. I was like, I am. So when he said that today, he goes, that's the stuff my parents would play on the road trips. I was like, God damn, Jade.
What?
Yo,
it's fine.
It's little things that come up where I'm just reminded. The other day I'm looking for something in the kitchen and a black lady can always find it, but in this particular moment I just could not find whatever that thing was. It was right in front of my face. And I was like, oh, if it was a snake, it would have been me. And the boy goes, what you say? And I was like, it's like, you never heard that before? If it was a snake, it would have bit me. It was right there. I was like, God damn it,
completely
Jade.
dumbfounded.
God damn it, Jade.
The auntie's coming out, honey.
Man, it just be seeping out like Alex Mack slithering on the floor, nigga, under the door. Just slithering out. That was my week, though. How was your? You had a week. I know. You got to get to the Patreon to hear the deets, but tell us what you want to.
Yeah. Well, number one, I had a photo shoot this weekend because the show that I'm in, Black Judy's, comes out this April.
Hey!
Yeah, more to come. Hopefully we can have some of the folks on and talk about it. And
can we do a watch party?
Yeah, so it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. I don't remember the exact date. I want to say it's the first week of April, but I will let you all know.
Hold on, Noah, get in that damn shower. I've said it 12 times now.
Yeah.
We don't beat our kids, but we can cuss at them a little bit. You just can't say certain stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I
get your
physical
ass.
no, but words.
Get your ass.
I will whip you with my words.
My teacher go ask me. Chef go ask me. He goes, "Do you cuss around?" First of all, this man is funny as shit. This man say, "So you?" I was like, "You got any kids, Chef?" Because he's older. He was like, "No, I never find the recipe." So we be bantering back and forth for their stuff. And so he asked me the other day, cause y'all know my mouth. I can't even help it. So he asked me that. He goes, "You cuss in front of your child?" I said, "I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes." I was like, "Yes." I was like, "I don't cuss at her." I was like, "But I was like, and I try to refrain from too much of certain things." I was like, "But listen, yes." He goes, "I never understood people who," and I didn't know where this was going, but he's also a very free man. He goes, "I never understand people who who don't cuss in front of kids. He goes, they're going to hear it anyway. I said, that's my philosophy. I was like, you gonna hear it here. I was like, and listen, nobody's worse than Justin Beck and Melissa Beck's household. I say that with the utmost of love, but the nigga will bring home a cake for their anniversary and it's gonna say happy fucking anniversary. And all the kids can read. So I say all that to say we all doing a good job. You doing a good job, bitch.
Yeah.
They go hear it somewhere, so I'm not of that. And I know there's some people out there who are like, oh my God, well, you know, you can just skitter away. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
No, it's not.
Yeah. No. So yeah, I did the Black Judy's photo shoot. That was fun. And then normally I don't talk about my high grade willow tree excursions, but let me tell you, while over the weekend I imbibed, if you will. I'm trying to find a classier way to say that.
Part two.
Almost 50% THC test.
Finally the herbs come around. When me a look for me get it by the phone, yeah. Sweet sensei a come around.
It tested at I think it tested at 47%.
Your what?
THC.
You tested yourself?
No. So when you buy weed, it tells you the potency and how much THC. Yeah, it was at 47% THC level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the journey.
Yeah.
It was like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know how else to describe it because I don't remember it, but I just know that I did that. What else happened? Oh, and then it was Chris Rogers' birthday.
Yes,
so happy
it
birthday
was.
to
Happy
he.
belated.
And we got to hang out with Jada Essenthal, and she hung out with us for a long periodically time and bought a shot. So, you know, I don't take shots, but I took it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I didn't even pick up on that note earlier.
Yeah. Oh, honey, I did shots all, you know, when your husband or your boo thing, you know.
No, I
know. You know.
I get it.
But I also have learned, and Chris Rogers made this point too. He was like, you know, a lot of stuff with that cheap liquor that I talked about before, you know, try to drink that shit straight as opposed, because they also have like nasty ass like soda things, nothing's clean like that. So I was like, okay, fine. But yeah, I kicked it with Jada Essenthal. Really, really nice person, down to earth, so funny, and just jokes on jokes and laughs. So it was a really, really good time.
I love
really, really
that.
good time.
I love that.
Yeah, if you want to know the deep story that I can't tell here, go sign up for Patreon. $7 holla.
Ding.
Yeah.
Take care of some business and then let's take a little break ski.
Okay, my speech. As you all know, thank you for listening to us anywhere you can get your podcast. Make sure you tell a friend that we are not exclusively on Spotify, that we are everywhere. Someone just found out that we're not on Spotify exclusively, and it's almost been a year. So please keep telling people that we are everywhere and not just on Spotify. Also sign up for the Patreon, $7 holla, all access. You get everything. Almost 400 posts. So if you don't get something new, which we provide content all week, 6 hours of content, I think. It's a lot. And we have a good time. We cover shows, and if you don't watch the shows that we talk about a whole bunch of bullshit in between. So we do have audio versions and video versions of each post, as well as a video version of this here main stage and audio, all ad-free. So sign up. Also, if you can't do that, you could always subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that's youtube.com/JadenXD. And we have a family game night 2 coming tonight. Sign up for our Patreon to see it exclusively. It is the Divas Edition, starring Jade, myself, Dr. Kia, Shar, Jocelyn, Asante, and Latoya from the Analog Girl podcast. So it's a really good show, really good time. We're raising money to do projects. As you see, Family Game Night is a big project in itself. So, we're still doing more of those just to get you a taste and show that, we're not on a monolith. Yeah. We're not no one-trick pony. Ow. And for all that, you can find us in our link tree on our socials or on jadenxd.com. I do have one thing to promote. Damn. Okay, it was 2 things, but I forgot one of them. But Delo is out. The unisex fragrance by Xavier Delo is out. You could go buy it. You can go on my Instagram and on my Twitter and click the link in the bio, and it'll take you there. You don't have to make your own if you don't want to. You could buy directly this time, and it's a good time. And the cool thing is, if you share and tell more people about it, you get points, and you could get free stuff, like a free bottle. So, ooh. Yeah, it's a good time. I told you all. I think that's it. Is there anything else I'm missing? Family game night. That's most important. I think that's it.
Yes, join us tonight for family game night.
Yeah, tonight. Patreon.
Tonight.
Information's there. Yeah, it's 9. And if you missed Family Game Night 2, it'll be up, on the interwebs for everybody to enjoy. So, we have exclusive director's cut fun on the Patreon. If you came last time to the Family Night premiere, it was the whole cast was there, and it was a good time. And you get bonus clips too, so it's a good time. Let's take a break and be back after these mensajes. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
They say sharing is caring, but living in a share house can be far from pleasant if the rules about splitting expenses aren't well established. Always set ground rules for everything before you move in.
And we're back. Again, you can see a video version of here on the main stage where we're doing interpretive dance and all this other nonsense. What I was telling you on the pre-show, Raven's home. So what they did was, shows on Disney Channel don't go beyond 100 episodes. So what they did was, in season 5 of Raven's Home, they kind of changed the complete timeline and story so that her kids are older. So remember, in Raven's Home, she was living in Chicago with Chelsea.
No, she was living in...
the white girl.
She was living in San Francisco.
She moved. Because the whole premise of this new season is her moving back to San Francisco. So... remember in Raven's Home, her and Chelsea moved in together because remember she had a nigga and he left or whatever.
Oh, I thought her and them kids lived in San Francisco. Oh, they lived in Chicago?
They lived elsewhere because in season 5 they redid the cast because Chelsea's not on it anymore, and neither is the daughter because she's on some other show.
So what happened to the daughter? How they write that out?
She went to college. Or
the kids got old enough to go to college?
So the way... No. Like, in the story, maybe. So, like, in the very first episode, Raven and her son is going back to San Francisco because her dad has a heart attack. And so it's the original dad from Raven's home, Rondell Jackson, I think his name is. And so he's on the show. So it's about her going back and taking care of, him.
Is the little boy
and
still
then
on
her
the
being
show,
psychic.
twin brother? She
Who
had
did he
kids.
play on the show?
She
Yeah, her son is still on the show.
okay.
Just not
Okay.
the daughter.
Okay.
And not her mama for whatever reason. And then they added a couple of other people. So like remember Raven on That's So Raven? She had a country cousin.
Yes.
Well, the way that works is that the country cousin had a daughter, and so now she's living with Mr. Baxter. Like he's taking
Okay.
care of her for whatever reason. I didn't really get that part. But
Now, what happened
it's
to the
really,
white boy, Chelsea's son?
Oh, there's no like Chelsea's gone. Like there's no Chelsea storyline whatsoever.
Do they even mention her?
Not in the first episode.
Oh, interesting. But this is still Raven's home.
Because her dad, Mr. Baxter's there from That's So Raven. Her son is there. And she addresses it in the theme song, like the timeline of That's So Raven to Raven's home and to what it is now. Yeah.
Okay.
Take that chance. New city, I'm finding my way. Yeah, we're gonna be okay. It might be wild, but you know that we make it work. We're just fam caught up in a crazy world. Come on.
Interesting.
It's really cute. It's on YouTube right now. It's on YouTube for free. I enjoyed it, but I also like That's So Raven. I think That's So
We
Raven
would
was
watch
funny.
Raven's home, like with Noah.
And Raven's home was funny too.
Yeah, it's cute. A cute family show. I just I'm trying to picture all of this mashup and this mesh up and this. I wonder what helped.
It's a lot to
play Chelsea. I wonder why she's not on there.
Oh yeah, something Vanderpool. We were trying to figure that out too. Maybe she got a job. Anytime people don't return, I assume that they got a job somewhere and they couldn't commit. But yeah, it was a really good show. I liked it.
Okay, well, we watched a new episode of The Proud Family, or one episode of new season of.
Oh, the new one.
It's not bad. They're older. Usually they don't let cartoons grow up, but they're older, and Penny's a little teenager, and La Sienna Good, turned ugly. She woke up one day and she had a beard and moles and acne.
Oh my god!
Child, just all manners of all of the person that she was came out externally. And it's essentially, I think it's pretty much
LA.
all of the original cast minus the same one who's not on Raven's Hope. With some new additions. E.J. Johnson is playing their little friend. Remember the little gay boy? Remember that Michael?
With the purple hair?
Yes, but as a kid,
Yeah.
I don't think he had purple hair. Now he does.
I know. I know he has there's a gay character on there. I just didn't know what's played by
E.J. Johnson does the voice. Ace Boogie with the hoodie does the voice of this new boy at I was about to say Kyla's school, at Penny's school, and then his sister is Kiki Palmer. And
Kiki.
I'm trying to think who else new was on there that I was just like, okay. Well, I know it's them, so I was like, okay, look at all these black people working. And then Paula Jai Parker got her job back. Tommy Davidson got his job back. Kyla Pratt got her job back. So I was like, okay, I love this for everybody.
And Harriet Winslow got her.
She got her job back. She's Sugar Mama still. Poppy or whatever his name is still hates Sugar Mama and still talking about her like a dog in Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah, he used to wear her ass out.
And it still is. When I tell you, and this is why these shows be for the parents, because in the first episode, the translation, they had just come from, Sugar Mama and him had come from Jamaica, or had just come from the islands. No, I'm sorry. They came from Mexico. They came from Mexico. And so she's like, we just got back from vacation. And he says in Spanish, she was like, thank God for tequila. And they had it translated. And me and Tristan is up there cracking up. We like,
yeah, because they didn't used to translate it back in the day.
No.
So like, if you ever go back and watch Proud Family now,
yeah, they translated it.
Oh, I don't remember them because
that's how you knew
now
he hated her.
Oh, I remember. I don't know. I don't feel like there was like a translation. I didn't realize it until recently. I was like, as a kid, I don't remember. But
I don't think you were a kid.
Well, I was younger.
I was like, I think you were.
Proud Family came out. I was in college, right? Yeah.
Let's see.
06, 07.
Oh, I was fully grown and engaged, I think.
Yeah. So, shit that you watch eating, like making ramen noodles.
Yeah. Okay, fair. So they had this one scene where Keke Palmer she was a mean girl, the new mean girl, but like not mean like La Cienega, but mean like judgmental and standoffish. And Penny was trying to be her friend, and she was like, girl, like, bye. And Penny was trying even harder to be her friend. So then they end up, the girl, Keke Palmer's like, we're going to go to the zoo and we're going to free the pandas because they're endangered. And so,
yes,
Penny's like, bitch, what? But of course, in teenage fashion, she wants this girl to be her friend. So she goes to the zoo to free the panda. So they get into the panda, whatever it's called. And when I tell you, that's what I was starting to tell you on the pre-show. The amount of psilocybin, I don't know if it was golden teachers. I don't know if it was, what's that one called? Cobra. I don't know if it was white golden teachers, but there was some psilocybin consumed before they wrote that panda scene. And they had CeeLo sing the song. He sang the Brothers Johnson Strawberry Letter 22 and then put a jazzy tune to it. And they had all these colors, and it was Lisa Frank, and it was, multiple pandas and all kinds of shit. And I was like, nigga.
Hello, my love. I heard a kiss from you. Red magic satin playing here.
I am on a journey right now.
I'm on a trip, girl.
I was like, not them putting Strawberry Letter 22 in the damn Disney. It was like, Strawberry Letter 22. I said, okay, we might have to keep watching this show a little bit more with Like, I think this might be the new one. So, I'm not mad. I don't like the theme song, just like everybody else.
Yeah, I don't.
Who sings
Here's the thing. TikTok.
Because everybody's like, Chloe Halle, save it. And I was like, how Chloe Halle getting it?
Because it's another light-skinned girl singing it.
Oh.
Like, they ain't no grit, ain't no oil, ain't no oomph to it. And it really shouldn't have been the same theme song, honestly.
No, they should have changed
We're always going to compare it to the original.
Let me see.
Always.
Wait, no, where's the...
I think her name is like...
Where's the...
Shaniqua Instagram or something.
Hold on. New Proud Family.
I like how most of the show is you Googling things.
You said what?
I like how most of the show is you Googling things.
It just comes up. Oh, no. Oh, she's a light-skinned healer.
Yeah, I told you. TikTok.
Oh, that's why they said they wanted Chloe and Halle, because she was harmonizing by herself. They said, Ariel, save it.
I mean, she sings like, the way the youth sing. Like, I mean, it's not bad. It's just not for,
I can't figure like LMA.
Yeah.
They all sound.
It's really hard. It's really hard for us to like digest new music when we like grew up like with Angela Winbush. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, it's really
I'm like, bitch, you can't listen to Stephanie Mills and then go listen to Ba Da Ba Ba Boot Up. Like,
yeah, no, it don't work. It don't go.
That's why when I was watching Drag Race, I was like, not these. I was like, not these
It's
white
so
bitches
funny.
knowing Luther like this.
I know, and Willow ate that bitch right on up too.
Okay, can we just
For
brief side,
the Deja Sky effect.
brief. What we supposed? Let's have a sidebar.
Okay.
In Willow's mind, Willow was eating up.
Yeah.
And in our hearts, we
Yeah.
wanted Willow to be eating up. But Willow dances
In IRL?
like a white woman who did a lot of cocaine in the 80s and is now a mother and drinks a lot of white wine and takes Xanax.
Yeah, like that lady on Love After Lockup, which was a cry for help.
Whoa, nigga. Whoa. Y'all got to get to the Patreon for that. Because, wow.
Yeah.
Yo,
Goddamn.
give me a vodka with lemon. Would you like soda? No.
No. Mama was freaking cleaner.
Mama came in saucy boots.
Yeah.
Ooh, all the sidebars. But yeah, Willow danced like a white mother who's depressed. And
Yeah.
and she lives that out through chemicals and wine. Which is fine, find your delusion. But that's my point was.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't
It
know
was
they knew
so funny
Luther.
because on Alaskan Willem's podcast, they talked about them. They were like, they got all these white bitches singing all these Negro songs. Willem was like, why didn't they give them Tori Kelly's version of Respect? Even when other white queens are like, "Oh, girl, why you got all these white bitches singing all these other bitches songs?" Like, no, it don't work.
Why does Tori Kelly keep coming up? Why was Kia pseudonym for our Honesty Box listener yesterday? Tori Kelly. Why she keep coming up?
I love her, but I know, but still, it's like, she's a little white girl that can sing, but
Who
not
is she?
like,
Feel the rain on your skin? That's her.
No, you wouldn't know her. Well, did you watch Sing? You have a kid.
Who?
You never saw Sing, the movie?
What's that?
With the animated, it's a musical with animated animals.
Lion
And it's
King?
like these animals. No, it's like these animals in like a singing competition. I want to say.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I watched it when I was high, but it was good. Tori Kelly has a cover of Stevie Wonder's "Don't Worry About a Thing." That's not
Oh
bad.
no.
Tell you, she's a little white girl that could sing.
Okay. That's what they said about Emily King until Anita Baker pulled her ass up on stage and that bitch didn't know the words. See, that's why I don't never be fully convinced.
Do you know all the words to Anita Baker songs? Because all you just got to do is yawn and fit right the fuck in.
Yeah, she didn't even do that. She didn't even fake her way through it. It's like, I don't know the words. I gotta go to school. And I was like, bitch.
Yeah, she was there. I forgot about that.
I was like, you and your loafers need to skedaddle. Because this is a
Because even Alicia Keys outsang her. Yeah.
And that is
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I
totally
outsing
forgot about
Alicia
that.
Keys.
That was one Valentine's Day. Damn.
Well, it was a hell of a Valentine's Day.
Her Crohn's poison himself.
Remember when Crystal bought Tristan a ticket? He was like, nah.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, go with your homegirls.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Dustin, you come with us to see Anita Baker? He's like, I'm not hanging with you niggas on Valentine's Day. He was like, and why are you hanging with you niggas on Valentine's Day? I was like, because we secure like that.
Right. Little did we know that could have been the last time.
Poof.
Because that was the last concert I went to before COVID. But
Is that the last? Nah, that ain't the Can't Be the last. No, that's not the last.
Like
one.
real.
No.
Like real.
I feel like I seen Migos after that. but
oh, that's you.
I don't know. Woo!
I didn't.
Can't imagine doing that right now. Kendrick Lamar, all you niggas breathing.
Yeah.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe, okay? But
I also have a joke about that because that was a thought that going through our head after when I told you what we was doing in the show.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh girl, what if I get COVID from him?
It would have all been worth it.
It all would have, which technically I got it from Katy Perry. That would be my story.
Yes, the same way Nicki Minaj owes me money, Katy Perry gave you COVID.
Yeah, it literally is that. So last week we mentioned a bunch of shows, and a lot of you were like, "You got to keep going and watch this. You got to keep going and watch this." And so we finally took your advice. Normally we don't. Yeah. So we we did, because we're the People's Podcast and we listen, and we decided to watch World Worst Movement. Whoa, did I have
what's
a stroke?
happening right now?
You know, it's that alcohol Weeho girl, I'm telling you.
You took them shots of that ethanol that took.
I know.
Took shots of that hand sanitizer.
Brake fluid.
Okay.
Brake fluid.
Brake fluid with a little vanilla.
Yes, and antifreeze. Woo.
Out there drinking Hennessy.
Molotov cocktail. I say Hennessy Coke. So. Because that's what that shit called. That shit tastes like a weapon of mass destruction, nigga. Fuck Hennessy. It is so gross. But I'm not above a brand deal. Hennessy, I love Hennessy. It's great. I think it. So we decided to watch Worst Roommate Ever and the complete series, but we want to focus today on the last 2 episodes, which is one story broken into 2 parts.
Ooh, nigga.
Hi, Orange Boys. I'm just calling so that you guys know that if something happens... Why are you crying? Because I'm afraid. What, your roommate? I'm scared of him.
There are absolute evils in this world, whether it be an abstract or metaphorical evil, but it is mostly people.
I needed a roommate. I was desperate.
If you have not seen it, it's on Netflix, and it is a anthology series or docu-series about people who are fucked up and doing fucked up shit to people that they happen to live with.
Yes, because I watched
in some form or fashion.
The Korean man and the Mexican girl. I remember.
Let's talk about it.
Let me tell you something. I remember when the picture was going around the internet and she was missing, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
She went to school around here.
Nigga.
Well, we could talk about that briefly too, because that one was intense. Because people were like, "I don't get it," but no, that.
What you mean you didn't get it? What don't you get? The nigga moved in, stopped paying bills, fell in love with the bitch. For whatever reason, she kept kicking it with him, and then when he stopped paying his bills, that's when she was like, nigga, you owe me money. And she wasn't kicking it with him on a sexual level. She didn't like him, but he fell in love with her, and he was crazy and had a crazy background, and that nigga killed her.
And what was even more wild was the fact that because that she had turned down his advances, he went and got like a facelift and a nose job and all this stuff to look
got the plastic
conventionally
surgery.
Attractive.
Yep.
Because he looked very ethnic, and so he westernized his face,
which
did not have to do.
No, not at all. It looked weird.
He ended up looking like George Takei from Star Trek. It was like, okay, sure. Yeah. He did. Because I was like, oh shit, that's the nigga from Star Trek. But he It was so heart-wrenching about that particular story was that it was told from the sister.
Ooh, and the niece.
And the niece. That was the gut-wrenching thing. Because all the other stories are told from, like, the first one was through the social worker. And I was like, okay, you know, I get it. We care as professionals. But nothing hit home more like Mama's sister was like, I looked him dead at the eyes. Okay, so... the part that got me in that story was when they were outside praying. They were outside praying.
Yes!
And he was like, nah.
And
so
that nigga was standing in the distance. Child. And
Also,
how they caught him is the same thing where they say everybody returns back to the scene of the crime. And you know how this nigga returned back to the scene of the crime? He went to the public fucking library and he Google searched the location in which he left her body after he was going to the library every single day. And when they went and looked up his search history, it's so funny how niggas think they just delete search history and nobody can ever find it again. He deletes his search history. When they pull it back up, it's shit like, how long does it take a body to decompose, how to bury a body. Like it was like the most... It's not laughable,
right?
But it was laughable in the sense where it was like, what in the fuck do you think? What did you think was about to happen? What did you think was about to happen?
Right. Like nothing about this screamed, you know, you're gonna get away, or like no one's gonna find out about this.
What? The girl went missing, and the family started looking for her almost immediately. And this is after the lady already called into the police and said, if something happens, I want to put it on record that this nigga ain't right.
Mama warned niggas, and nobody took precaution.
Which brings us to our main story today. Okay, we're going to break this down.
Now, I do want to say it is very hard for me not to victim blame in this show. And especially in this scenario.
No. Listen. You have a sensitive tummy, you're going to have to just go ahead and click out right now because no. Let's take a break. And when we come back,
let's take a break.
We are going to get into the nitties and the titties of this crazy ass story. Hit it, Claude.
Yeah.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
First up is how much rent each person should pay. How you fairly split the rent between roommates depends on the house, the facilities, and who's running it. If you're setting up a house with roommates, you can choose to split them.
And we're black, and we're talking about worst roommate ever. We're talking about the last two episodes, which is one story.
Yes.
And it's about Jaimison
Bacchanal.
Bachman. Bacchanal, that's right.
Accused of killing his own brother was arraigned tonight in Montgomery County. 60-year-old Jaimison Bacchanal is facing first and third degree murder charges after police say he killed 64-year-old Harry Bacchanal in his Elkins Park home. According to a police affidavit, Jaimison was recently bailed out of jail by Harry, but Harry would not allow him to stay at his home due to Jaimison's alleged history.
Or Jed Creek.
Or who we were introduced to as Jay Creek. So, it opens up where we meet this lady named Alex in Philly. Okay. Again, we're gonna preface this with, there's not a whole lot of emotion for us tied here. You know, it's unfortunate for certain things, and we'll address that. But I just want you all to know straight out the gate that this white lady irritated me. Okay, she sound.
Oh God, like, she was an atomic wedgie.
Is she drunk? Is she what's happening here? Is she about to cry? Is she was drunk. Cry? Like what's going on?
She was every neurotic white woman on Law and Order.
Yeah, very much so. And I just And so I just want you all to know that straight out the gate. That's the bias in this, how we're telling this story. This white woman got on our nerves. It's unfortunate what happened to her and everybody else, but she irritating. So anyway, this white woman is in her apartment and she is broke. Okay. Her mom was helping her pay her bills and whatnot. And so her mom was like, listen, girl, I got to stop giving you money. So you need to get yourself a roommate. So I think she lost her job or something. So she goes on Craigslist and puts an ad out for a roommate.
Bad idea. Every story on this shit has to do with Craigslist and how awful it is.
Oh, I got my own Craigslist story.
See?
Yes. I'll wait.
Go on, are you going to share? Oh, so you're going to share with the class or are you going to tell?
I mean, you know, lived in the apartment for 4 years, met the landlord on Craigslist. It was like, wasn't, you know, it wasn't a scam. Wasn't anybody who lived on a, you know, a steel boat and just wanted a good person to take care of their apartment. Anybody from New York will understand that reference.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for a good person to take care of my 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom apartment in the East Village.
Yeah.
For $1,200 a month.
For $1,200 a month.
All new stainless steel appliances.
Backyard entry, patio, garden entry.
Private primary bathroom.
Yeah.
You know the works. No, it wasn't that. You know, I ended up meeting her. It was realistic, all that. Lived there for some time. It was raggedy. When I first got there, bathroom was crazy with mold. And I was like, so listen, girl, this needs to be gutted and flushed, okay? Like, this ain't no paint job. This ain't no, like, this shit needs to be fully redone. This lady tried to tell me it was not mold. I mean, it looked like mold grew into a 6'5" nigga and threw up all over the bathroom. That's what it looked like.
Oh my God.
So I was like, listen, homegirl, I'm going to get this fixed and I'm going to take it out of the rent. And so that's what I did. I got a contractor in there. I sent her all the paperwork so she knew it wasn't a scam. These are all the things that have to be done. And when I tell you, they literally had to rip everything out of that bathroom. All the sheetrock. You remember? All of that.
Yeah.
And brand new bathroom. Everything's good. But I was like, I have a child who had surgery at 7 months for breathing stuff. Are you miss? Absolutely the fuck not. I can get the city up in this motherfucker if you want to do that. So I got that fixed or whatever. Fast forward. She calls us 3 days after Christmas and tells us she wants to move her daughter into the apartment and we got 30 days to find somewhere else. And I was like, this bitch can kick rocks. And so,
oh my God.
As payback, I did not tell her I was moving. It wasn't just for that. It was for how she handled a bunch of things in the end. But I didn't tell her I was moving. We left. She tried to serve us with eviction papers, and I was like, haha, bitch, I've been gone for like 2 months. By the way, you might want to go back to that apartment and check that refrigerator, because I left a freezer full of meat and unplugged it.
Oh.
Try me, bitch.
Oh.
Like, don't play with, like, I really am a good person until I'm not.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back to the story. So, Jed Creek answers the ad on Craigslist. You know what I'm saying? And she was smart for, it was interesting to me, but she was smart for recording their recording their conversations and, you know, keeping his voicemails and stuff. So she meets him down at the Starbucks and she's like, okay, you know, he's like, where do you live? And she's like, yeah, I'm not telling you that yet.
I know you like that, bro.
And this is where things went left for me. This is why I knew. And I was like, we different. Because she said, we have to seal this deal and see how the dog is going to get along.
I mean, that is valid, but yeah.
Down the totem pole, nigga. Like, first and foremost, let me see your passport. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Right. I need a motherfucking background check, nigga. Like, what the fuck?
Not us sealing the deal with the how the dogs sleep together. What? This is
right. Like, that is so wild. Like, why on earth would that be like your go-to? Like, you know, this is my deal breaker.
And also, I know a lot of niggas who used to practice law and they don't practice law no more because they're for one reason or another. But it's always a reason that makes sense. Don't tell me you know lawyer, but you went to law school, but you ain't no lawyer. Like, when you introduce it to me like that, I went to law school. I'm like, you're not right. I went to law school, but you're not a lawyer. And don't know, only a weird ass nigga's gonna tell you, I went to law school. But what do you do? Nigga, I went to the Chipotle. It don't, like, what does that mean? Like, what are you telling me right now? So, I was like, this white woman, she just missed all of the signs.
Yeah. So, for whatever reason, the dogs fall in love with one another. They go back to the Cribbington because now that the dogs are, loving each other more than peanut butter, that it's okay now to show him the crib.
Yeah.
So Papa rolls up to the crib. She's like, I can't believe it. It works out so well. The dogs are curled up and, boot up.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm ready to move in right now. I don't have a lot of stuff, but I have the money right now. And she's like, well, before you do all that, I need you to fill out this application.
He's like, yeah, no problem. I got that.
Right. Leaves it on the table, goes into the room, moves in.
Goes back to the Airbnb, quote unquote, that he was at. And,
oh, yes.
And gets his stuff. And comes back. He's like, I'm ready to move in tonight. Like, it's nothing. She's like, all right, well, you got to fill out this paperwork for the management company, brother. And he's like, oh, yeah, I got you. Don't even worry about it. When he comes back from the quote-unquote Airbnb, he comes back with the dog, a cat, and a fish.
And a fish, yeah.
And she's like, skirt. Okay, this is red flag number 12.
Ask all that.
Why didn't you tell me about that? I'm allergic to cats. He's like, no, she's good. Don't even worry about it. Like,
and also, like, that's not how allergies work. Just because
it's also not how my house works, nigga. Don't worry about it. Me, like, what?
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Yeah, holla, man, wait for it. I remember all night I used to pray for it.
Yeah, like, that's not how allergies work, bro. But for whatever reason, he moves his stuff in, shuts the door, and leaves that damn application there on the table, uninked.
Now this is where they start playing this horror music all through the entire.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't know, like, what was going to happen.
No.
And even here, well, no, this story went really left, actually.
Oh, baby.
Right. So, and she talks about, like, I didn't do any research, and so her mother gets on the screen, and she was like, no, I told her, you got to research, you got to do your Googles.
Now listen. It started real subtle, right? Not for us, because we've already seen the red flags, okay? I would just like to say, I'll say it in a minute. So in the first couple days, she notices that her stuff is moved around in the apartment. Her plants are gone from the windowsill. Sometimes the lights are not working when she tries to turn them on, which, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, he was stealing shit.
And then she comes home one day, and all 6 of the dining room chairs is gone from the table. So she knocks on the door, and she's like, Jeb, or whatever the fuck this nigga's fake name was.
Jed Creek.
Jeb Creek. where the dining room chairs at? He's like, I have them. Sorry,
They make a cute desk and table for me.
He was like, I'm using them as a desk. She was like, can I please have the chairs? And he's like, I'll let you have 2. First he says, why does one person have 6 chairs? Excuse me.
Right.
Don't ask me anything, okay?
Why do you need to move in the middle of the night? How about that?
Don't ask me nothing. Why do I have 6 chairs? Give me my stuff. But he said, I'll let you have 2. Blessings and salutations.
Thank you.
Now, this is where my next note says, we are 10 minutes ill. We are 10 minutes in, and I can tell you 43 ways white women are different.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he still has not signed that thing.
In addition to that, a month has gone by, and he hasn't
started
paid
receiving mail.
Anything. So she comes to him after a month and says, you need to pay some money. Girl, what? You didn't ask for no money when this nigga came in the thick of like a thief in the night.
In the midnight hour.
So when she says that he needs to be paying stuff, he laughs at her. I laughed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He laughed at her.
He LOL'd her.
He did. She said he talked to me like I was stupid and dismissed me.
Well, girl.
Well, so she calls her mommy, and her mommy does what any, rational human being would have done before they met him at the dog park. She Googles him, and she can't find nothing, right? Because old girl Googled him before. All she found was a website where he's this reputable tutor, and he's this loving human being, and blah, 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 blah. Mother Googles him and don't hardly find nothing. So mother Googles the phone number.
She's on her Neve.
And that's when she finds Jaimison Bacchanal.
Jaimison Bacchanal. And she realizes that there's a story about him where he has taken advantage of people and squatting. And the documentary goes into this whole package about serial squatting. So there's like these people who literally go do this exact thing. They'll find somebody vulnerable, won't pay their rent, get mail delivered there, which establishes residency, and therefore won't pay rent because whatever state they're in is typically a tenant city or whatever, tenant based tenant right city, and so can't do nothing about it. Yeah, that's definitely a big thing in New York City.
Very much so. So, and you can establish residency, like XD said, by just receiving mail. So whether they've signed paperwork or not, once they've received mail, then they are a resident. And it is
proof of that is when you ask when you go to the DMV and they tell you to bring mail. Yep.
So. So she basically said they found out he's a serial squatter and that he'd been terrorizing people up and down the East Coast. Get into the history as we meet a number of people in his life, all with very similar and interesting stories.
So is next, right?
12 years prior to this is in 2017. 12 years prior to this, he met this lady, Arlene, at the dog park.
Oh, yes, Arlene. This is why I said it's hard for me not to victim.
Because, first of all, y'all is meeting niggas at the park. I don't even want to say hi to you.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Dog owners are very talkative people. Yeah. Like they are very. When we were babysitting Amina, or dog sitting Amina, like I took her for a walk. Mind you, I'm just taking her out to shit. Like I'm not trying to, fellowship and commune. Everybody has a dog. Oh my god! Like how old is she? Where did you get?
You should have just said I stole it and so that they would keep.
I should have lied and said she's not a dog, she's a capybara. Just say, oh, it's not a dog, it's a tarantula.
This is a snake.
She was raised on a farm to hate others.
That's the kind of shit I would do when I was pregnant. Especially when I was good and pregnant, like 8 months. People be like, "Are you pregnant?" I'm like, "Mm-mm. No, not at all.
I have a tumor."
That's exactly what I said. There's a tumor. And they be like, "Ha ha!" I'm like, "It's not funny. I do."
Is he a basketball coach?
No.
What's the matter?
I have a headache.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all.
I have a tumor that has teeth and it's growing hair.
And it makes my vagina have teeth. Want to find out?
Chop it off like a carrot.
So Arlene meets this nigga at the dog park in Queens. And they start fucking.
No, they were friends.
Yeah, okay.
And then they started fucking.
Okay, all right.
And while that was happening, he was working at a school.
Yes, he told her he had a law degree, okay? But he failed the bar. Now that actually makes more sense than you telling me I went to law school. I'd rather you tell me you failed the bar. You was like, nigga, I wasn't doing that shit again. I'm like, real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what he told her. So he got a job as a teacher at a private school. They're friends. And he got free housing through that position. So so about 3-4 months into the job, he started getting complaints. The kids hated
that
his
shit
guts.
was too hard. Like he was giving them collegiate level work, and they were like in the 8th grade or the 3rd grade, and I was like, why?
And he's telling Arlene, I'm about to be the next dean of the school. I'm about to run this shit. I'm the Osiris of this shit. And she's like, nigga, you're real presumptuous right now. And lo and behold,
got it like that.
You don't got it like that. So one day they get into a tiff. He got aggressive, and she's like, I'm not fucking with you, right? A couple weeks go by. He calls her. They make up. You know, she misses the dick. Come to find out, he got fired. And he's going to be homeless because, remember, he had housing through his job. So he tells Arlene, red flag number 12.
Shit. Not even 26.
He says, well, I'm just going to stay. They can't make me leave. And they give him an eviction notice. And she's like, you have to go.
Come live with me. It's okay. You can come live with me.
Until you get on your feet. Now,
here's my thing. Go ahead.
No. Please continue. No.
This is about to sound really rough. You can tell people, I don't believe stigmatization only exists when you don't get it like that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Mama was dick drunk, okay? Because there's no way that I would compromise my New York apartment for a stranger
that I met at the dog.
And if this nigga said you dating somebody that said, I'm gonna cheat the system.
You dating somebody who has housing through their job that they lost and says flat out verbatim, I'm just gonna stay because they can't do shit about it. What?
Right. No.
And you already see, and the thing about it, you already see red flags with this nigga because you stopped talking to him for a couple weeks because he got up in your face and got aggressive. So you already got your antennas up about this nigga, but then they go right back down and you're like, come live with me. It's not a problem.
Right.
So stop her. And this is, so the story jumps around because we're meeting different people who know Jaimison Bacchanal. And we the story comes together. So just stay with us, okay?
Yeah. Let's take a break, actually.
Yeah,
and
let's
come
do
back
that.
with another person. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
In different ways to make it even, but most shared homes are established or run by one person. A bedroom with an ensuite and a walk-in closet costs more than the bedroom with a shared bathroom. That's here in China and Japan.
And we're back talking about worst roommate ever.
Yes.
So we meet Sonia. That's her name? Sonia? Yeah. So our lesbian queen, we meet. Royalty. Their story was the most sad to me. Because she was the brown person in the store.
Oh man. And you know,
So,
she was
and
in
Mama
all
worked.
the marginalized communities.
Right. So Mama, who looks like Callie from Grey's Anatomy, she works. She's a healthcare professional.
Pause.
And
actually, no, we're not to Sonia yet.
Okay.
We're not to Sonia yet because we still on Arlene. Because and the reason why we got to stay on Arlene is because.
You take it away. Take it away. Go ahead.
Okay, so follow us. Arlene got a landlord named Peter. Peter.
Oh yes.
So
he kept complaining to Peter.
He kept complaining to Peter. He moves in to the apartment, and Peter's like, okay, well, you know, like Arlene got her a nigga now, so like I'm cool. If Arlene's cool with it, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Long as Arlene pays that rent. So Arlene comes home from work one day, and all the furniture is rearranged in the house. Remember, Alex told us earlier all the windows, all the plants were gone out the windowsills and everything when she came home, and the chairs were gone. Arlene comes home, whole house rearranged. Nigga moved the couch to the middle of the floor, all kinds of shit. He's like, "Don't you like it?" She says, "No, I hate it."
And that's a trigger for him. He don't like being told no.
No. So
or being or things disliked.
At this point, he starts profusely complaining to Peter, the landlord. And Arlene said he has only paid about a month and a half of rent. So she starts asking him, what you gonna do for work? And he starts making her feel bad about his circumstances. And then he starts getting mail.
Yeah. The key thing is him getting mail.
Yes. So at this point, she's like, okay, he's not gonna get a job. I'm gonna just change the locks on him while he's gone. And when she does that, the police say, you can get arrested.
Can't do that. And she does.
Yeah.
She does. She does get
It
arrested.
took 2 years of him squatting before she said, this relationship is over.
But he was in there for 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And at some point, I think after the 2 years, she banished herself to her second very small bedroom. Mm-hmm. And this nigga took over her bedroom, her bed, her stuff. And she's living in this teeny small half bedroom because she don't want to sleep next to him and can't get him out of her house. Introduce childhood friend Bob number 1.
Oh, Dick Ryder.
Yes, exactly.
Dinner.
Both Bobs, actually, because there was 2 Bobs.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't the very last Bob. This wasn't the Bob.
No.
Yeah.
What? Like I said, one was a little bit more. That's my best friend, and then the other one is like, yeah, I knew him back in the day. I knew that nigga was wild, but like, you know, that's crazy. He didn't need to do that shit to people.
I once knew a pirate named Bob. B.O.B. Bob was a drunken old slob.
Bob number 1. That's Bob. So Bob number one. They've been friends since they were 7 years old.
Yeah.
They grew up outside of Philly. They was besties, and he is the one who kind of gave a little context to Jaimison Bacchanal's background, which was Bacchanal. So he talks about how his father was brutal to his mother, and he noted how much the word brutal stuck with him. And so, you know, he said when they got older, Jaimison would get real pissed about injustices, and he was like real self-righteous, about his views in the world, to the point where he became a bully, and he looked at him as a contradiction because he was like, this is a really hurt guy, but he's a bully. Now we meet Sonia. Tell us about Sonia.
Okay, so like we said earlier, Sonia is a healthcare professional. Her and her then missus at the time, she had dreams of being a homeowner. And, in New York City, that's rather difficult.
Yeah.
So one day she was out in Far Rockaway, and they were building a new building. I actually know exactly what that building is.
Yep.
Because it definitely... the company that I used to work for owns that building. So she took out a loan from her pension.
Yep.
And used it as the down payment on this beautiful condo overlooking the Long Island Sound or the Atlantic Ocean in Far Rockaway. It didn't work out between her and her missus for whatever reason. Sometimes relationships get ill.
No doubt.
No doubt. So she had to get a roommate to cover the expenses because she wasn't earning enough to do it all on her own. So she takes to Craigslist, and Jaimison shows up. We didn't have Jed Creek then.
So she had 2 people inquire about the roommate ship.
Yeah.
And it was between
a family.
Yeah.
A family of 2 and a dog.
No, a kid.
Oh, a kid, excuse me. And a rich, successful attorney.
Note how the lie continues to escalate on what his position is. So she goes, of course I went with the successful lawyer. Like, nigga, who wants to live with kids if you ain't got none? Who wants to live with them if you do? So.
Right. This right here was the biggest red flag to me, because it's like, how like when jobs, if you get hired on the spot at a job, it's a red flag.
Yes, but unfortunately, a lot of us in the marginalized community will look at things sometimes from the vantage point of blessing. And this is what happened. So, Mama didn't want to lose the condo. So she says, I got to get this roommate. Here comes the successful lawyer with a U-Haul.
Same day.
Like, shows up to see the spot with the U-Haul. So she was like, okay. But what made her go ahead with the go-ahead was he was like, so bust it. I got cash up front, security deposit, rent, blah, 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 blah. Let's do this deal right now. I just got to get away from my crazy
ex-girlfriend.
We lived together. And, we're not sure. She didn't allude to if things went left with the partner, or, in a chaotic way or in a calm way. So there was no, but I'm sure she had just gone through a breakup. So I'm sure that pinged her in some way, right? So she's like, all right, I get it. So first 3 months are amazing. They're great. Yeah. She loved the way he loved his animals. These animals are very important.
She's a vet. Yeah, she's a vet nurse.
Yes. So so that really spoke to her. She really loved the way he loved his animals. He was paying his rent. And then come July and August, that nigga didn't pay for 2 months.
I do want to point out that at this point, he brought a dog and a cat.
He been had a dog and a cat.
Remember when he brought Abigail, the other cat from Arlena?
Oh yes. So he,
I don't even like cats, but I was like, damn, that's fucked up.
ooh, when I tell you, when that started coming together towards the end, and I was like, oh, that cat. Because at the beginning we meet Alex, and he shows up with a dog, a cat, and a fish, and then we find out more about that cat. So, so she doesn't get rent for 2 months, and she's like, all right, now, things been good, but he's like, sorry, something happened with my job, blah blah blah. So that's when she sees the red flag, and she goes, I'm gonna have to threaten legal action. Now she says it early, I'm gonna have to threaten legal action, but she starts having to take extra shifts. She's losing her hair, and so she takes legal action, and they tell her it's gonna be bare minimum 3 months before she can get this nigga out.
And so in the interim, she needed to get some money. And this is also a testament of how ruthless New York City housing is. Mama pitched a tent in her living room and rented her living room tent out as an extra bedroom.
Yep.
Because this nigga refused to pay rent and she couldn't make ends meet. And she's doing all this while this man is in there doing nothing.
In the second bedroom.
Yeah.
So one day, so people answered this ad, by the way. You're like, who the fuck gonna live in a tent? Niggas will.
People do.
And niggas is non-gender, race, anything specific, okay? Human beings. Here in New York, when it gets hard, somebody gonna rent a tent. Am I somebody? No. But somebody's gonna rent a tent.
Somebody will. Shit. That's why them room rental companies exist.
Exactly. So a girl rents the tent, and she calls Sonia one day at work, and she's like, this ain't gonna work. She was like, I'm about to call the police. This man is in my face yelling at me, and I'm not with that shit. I always close the window to my tent when I leave. I'm sorry that
I did laugh, but I was like, that's not funny, but it's funny.
Yeah. I always close the window to my tent when I leave, and when I came back, the window was fully open to my tent.
Yeah.
And so Sonia is like, homeboy, you cannot go in people's tents.
At all.
That's not okay. And he has the gall to say, whoever you have living in this motherfucker is going to be uncomfortable because I am going to make it so.
Gall. Gumption.
So she serves him with the papers, and he gets more aggressive, and that's when she starts getting scared. Introduce childhood friend Bob number 2.
Realistic Bob.
Realistic Bob. He's showing us yearbook photos. He tells us Jaimison had an older brother. He was a good student. He was popular. He looked up to him. But he said one thing stuck with him. He goes, it was small, it may be stupid, but it stuck with me. Pay attention to those small things that stick with you. He said one time we catching up, and I'm telling him, oh yeah, I went out with her, and I went out with her, and I went out with her. And he said every girl I mentioned, Jaimison said he did too. He's like, I ain't called bullshit at the moment, but that pinged me. It never left. So they ended up reconnecting as adults, early adults. And he tells us a story. Would you like to tell the story?
Which story?
About how Jaimison Bacchanal one night was at Tulane University at a frat house.
Oh, yes. Well, he essentially saw somebody. Well, see it now. I don't know if I believe, because the way this.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I mean? I
Yeah.
thought he did it.
I know. But I think there were other people who
That might
actually,
be a
that's what
thing.
it was, because they were at the frat house and they were eating,
Right.
and then somebody came out wielding axe and decapitated
chopped.
the mutual friend of Jameson and Bob
so-
number 2, who's
and
telling the
Bob.
story.
And they did it right in front of him.
Yes. And so he witnessed that, and production
He was never the
asked-
same.
Huh?
He was never the same after that.
No. He was already troubled, but production asked if him witnessing that justified what he did. And Bob number 2 says no. Okay. Yes.
Right. So we go back to Alex, right?
Yes,
From what I
we're on
remember.
part 2 now.
Yeah. So Alex, and her mom, Thelma and Louise, they're like, her mama Googled him and figured out all the things about Jaimison Bachman. And for whatever reason, now Alex wants to utilize her resources and go to her job, and because she's a legal clerk, and she's asking her lawyers, how do I do this? And they tell her
You
the
in
real
danger,
deal,
girl.
like, yeah, you should have never let that nigga move in at X, Y, and Z. So, as, white women on a mission, WOM, if you will.
Yeah.
She was like, I have to take matters into my own hands. So, now this part I laughed at because I didn't know if it was racist or if it was like, she a down-ass white girl. I'm going to lead it over to the down-ass white girl.
She's not a down-ass white girl. She wants to be.
I don't know.
She's just like
She
all
led
them
with-
girls in Williamsburg who wear them big white shoes and got Biggie playing, and them sweatshirts that hang off their shoulders, and they got Biggie playing while they serve chicken and waffles and shit. So
Yeah,
so
she
starts-
she just had a nigger party.
yeah, and she
A
quotes
nigger kickback.
She quotes us in this documentary. She wanted to make the home uncomfortable, right, for him. She did all the things he hates: smoking, drinking. He hates rap music. That was probably racist.
Yeah.
She had a party. She said, I did all those things. We smoked weed. I bought Jameson bottles.
Yeah,
and
she had all her
said,
niggas there.
and we played rap
her mama
music.
was there.
I'm a Wu-Tang girl, baby. Bring on the ruckus.
Bring the motherfucking ruckus. Bring the motherfucking ruckus.
Ghostface, catch the blast of a hype verse. My Glock burst, leaving a hearse. I did worse. I come rough, tough like an elephant tusk. Your head rush, fly like Egyptian musk. Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was like, huh. Either you appropriating or you a cold ass honky. I can't tell.
I think she enjoys it, but I still, don't trust it.
But there's always. But Philly girls are different.
She's also like she's a hipster age, like she's of that. It was just hilarious that she was serving Jameson because remember at this point he doesn't know that she knows his name is Jameson. He still is under the impression that her and her mother think his name is Jed. So it was a party full of weed and Wu-Tang, and people was blowing
My kind of vibes.
Yeah, people was blowing cigarette smoke underneath his bedroom door.
They were literally trying to smoke him out.
They was talking shit about him loud so that he could hear it. Whatever they could do to make this nigga uncomfortable is what they were doing at this party. He comes out around 11:30 at night.
Arthur bald fist and all.
Everybody cheers. There he goes. It's the man of the hour.
Hey, here you go.
Here is the petty ass kicker. He comes out, and the decorations for this party are essentially all these articles and things with his real name on it.
Yeah. It's like exposed party, and it's just like Twitter links and
it's all
articles
his business
and
as the party decorations, just posted everywhere. And she said that he gets this Joker smile, and then he leaves with the dog. The dog's name is Zachary. So while he's
in
gone,
the meantime, I was gonna finish. Like in the meantime, while he's gone, they decide to bust in his shit and unscrew the doorknob to the door.
Yeah.
Just to make him super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have any privacy and he can't lock his door.
Mm-hmm.
Low-key big mistake. So he comes back with the dog. And now everybody's tired because, you know, they've been having weed and Wu-Tang and stuff. He comes in, he notices the door.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck it.
He slams it. And then when he tries to slam it, that's when he was like, wait a goddamn minute. I don't have a door now.
Yeah.
And they got these cartoons the whole time throughout this documentary. So the visuals are like this evil cartoon white man with his eyeball looking through the door.
It's like Junie B. Jones animations.
Yeah, it is. When she said he got the Joker smile and he was like, and they got that target. So
Boondocks faces.
You know, she turns the music up. No Sleep Till Brooklyn. They trying to get this nigga out of here. Okay, skip the scene back to Arlene, the ex-girlfriend. This is where she lets us know 4 years is how long this nigga was at her house. It's now 2010, because remember he came in 2005. She gives him the cable bill. He refuses to pay it, and she slaps him. She's sick of the shit.
Yeah, and
trigger warning.
She felt really bad, and they both call the police on each other.
Yeah, because he chokes her.
Yes.
He chokes her. She kicks him in the nuts. She runs. She calls 911. He calls 911. The cops tell her to get an order of protection.
Yeah, he gets an order of protection too. But the
First.
gag is he got his first.
The bigger gag is that they had to live together under the same roof for 6 weeks with 2 orders of protection. How in the fuck are you protecting an order of anything when what?
You know, when I used to work at that social service company and they lived in the housing thing, there was a couple of residents who had who were roommates and they lived in the same room and they had restraining orders against one another. They couldn't be within, like, I think the rule had to be like 25 feet or 15 feet. It was super dumb because it was like, well, and we couldn't move them because we were at capacity. It was a lot, but yeah, it happens.
So 6 weeks of that. November 2010, she goes to Peter, the landlord, and she's like, I got to file this eviction. I can't. So Peter goes with her to court. The fact that 4 years, you could have had that nigga out of there by then. That's your fault.
You could have left.
That's your fault.
And she did all this so that her landlord wouldn't have to deal with him on her own. Now, I'm all for being kind and shit like that, but fuck that.
No.
Peter could have dealt with that.
Not after
he
nigga
was
put
way
his
more
hands
capable.
on my neck. No, absolutely
right.
not.
And he's way more capable as a building owner to get him out. Now, is another difference in conversation if she's fearful of her life and if she moved that he was going to like follow her, which could have been the case. But like also, girl, you could have been gone. And I get it, it's New York. I would hold on to that apartment until the white meat showed too. But girl, you can't not if this person done colonized your home.
No.
You know, and said, this is mine now. I'm the captain of the ship now. Absolutely not.
Because he deboed her apartment is what he did. So her and Peter he goes with her to the eviction court or whatever. And he must have heard her talking to Peter to ask about her coming to asking him to come to the courthouse, because when she comes back from the courthouse, the cops are looking for her. She gets arrested and they say, you came at him with a knife. She was like, no, what you mean? They were like, you came at him with a knife, come on, you going to jail. So she goes to central booking. She's worried because this is Fed time. And then she sees the judge, and the judge tells her that she cannot go home and she's going to be on probation for a year.
He ruined her fucking life because now she's a convicted felon.
Ciao.
So
she had to get a court order to get back into her apartment to get her sick cats, because her cats were severely sick before she got locked up. So she had to get a court order, which that took time. So by the time she got to the cats, she had to put one down, to euthanize one, and then he took the other one. Hence, the cat that he showed up to Alex's apartment with later on in 2017.
Yeah. Because now we're getting to the places where, how did these women get him out?
Right.
Of the house. With Arlene, since she couldn't go back, she wasn't paying the rent.
No, and Peter, so now the problem is not only Arlene's life is upside down, now Peter, the landlord, got a problem on his hands because this is his building and he can't get old boy out. And he talks about all of the things he did intentionally to make people. Not only is he just squatting and not paying, that wasn't enough for him.
He's being a complete dickhead.
He had a log that he would drop on the floor so it would piss off the people who live downstairs. He would leave the water running so that Peter's water bill was sky fucking high. He would throw poopy kitty litter out the back window.
Peter's backyard. Yeah.
Like just atrocious behavior. And so the attorneys that Peter dealt with were like, there's an issue here. He is a brilliant genius. He is a brilliant, evil psycho of a person. And he managed to stay in that apartment for another year. And then Arlene goes back when she finds out he's leaving to get her cat. She's like, can you please just give me my cat? And that nigga looks at her and says no, and drives off in the U-Haul.
Yeah.
To Sonia's.
So Kirsten went over there to speak to the family about getting him back.
He's like, oh, well, that cat came here like months ago and we're super attached to him and we're not going to give him back.
San Diego police were called, but since Ghost wasn't taken from Kirsten's home, this is more of a civil property issue than a criminal case.
So Sonia had I don't want to say lucky, but hers was a little bit of a different scenario. Sonia had to leave the apartment because of Hurricane Sandy. So that was 2012. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
So, you know, she served him. It's going to take forever for him to move or whatever. Since they lived in the flood zone for Hurricane Sandy, she had to leave. He did not.
Because where he going to go?
So... Right. So she leaves. And I remember back in Sandy, we couldn't go back to do certain things for about a week or so.
Me and Tristan couldn't go back to work for almost a month because remember, Lower Manhattan was out of power for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, because remember I had to stay with Bobby because I was working in the Bronx, and I had to stay with Bobby for a week.
Yep.
Because at first they were sending cars to pick me up from Brooklyn and take me to work because there was no power. I remember my ex was driving me to work because he lived in Brooklyn and he worked in Columbus, so I had to go to like 90th Street and then take the train from there. It was a mess.
Yeah. It was a mess. And that was that time when that raggedy ass landlord, when we were like, yo, we can't go pick up our money because the restaurant is closed. Like, we can't. And I was like, can I, I'll pay you the rest of it next month. And he was like, pay me the money or y'all are out of here. What the fuck? But at the same time, Sonia's going through it with this nigga now. Before she even leaves to go to her mother's for Hurricane Sandy, and I feel bad for Sonia because her red flags were a little different. And she can't retire now. Sonia's a little older. She can't retire. She planned on this being her forever home. Sonia wasn't leaving. Sonia wasn't looking to get out of the city. This was going to be Sonia's it. And when she served him papers, he ended up getting worse and more aggressive. So she said he started going in her room while she would be gone. And she confronted him about it. And he got up in her face. And he was 6'2". And she was 5'2". But mama said she bucked up because she said, I am a brown belt in jujitsu, and I take self-defense classes. So bring it on, nigga.
Because she explained someone close to her she witnessed was attacked and murdered. And so ever since then, mama has been.
Yeah, she's like, we're not playing these bald-headed ass games. And instead of kicking his ass, what she could have done, because niggas like that, especially when they play them psychological games, they don't have no hands like that. Instead of putting hands on him, she says she laughed and backed up and went to church.
Yeah. She said, I went to church, got herself right.
Yes, I went to church.
Oh,
she's like, and it just felt so good to be like, you know what? Fuck you, nigga, I'm going to church. Like,
yeah.
And she said when she got back from her mother, she was at her mother's for 2 weeks from Hurricane Sandy. Hurricane Sandy was right after she went to church. When she got back, he was gone for good. He took his stuff. He vanished. But she never recovered. She lost her home. She can't retire. Remember, she took money out her pension for this. And she Googled him because she was like, well, where the fuck happened to this nigga? And that's when she saw that he had been doing the same thing to other people. He did it for 5 years.
Let's take a break.
Yes.
And we'll be back
we'll
wrapping
come back
this
to
up.
wrap it up.
Hit it, Clyde.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
In some share homes, everyone putting in for food and shopping together works. Or you can you can save together for communal expenses such as milk, bread, but everyone buys everything else themselves.
Take it on home, Jade of all Jades.
This is a long one. Okay, so
I know.
Back to first Bob number one, right? So Bob number
Dick
one
Rider
says that he starts talking more. We learn a little bit more about Jaimison Bacchanal's brother Harry. Okay, so
older brother Harry.
Harry was the successful sibling. Jaimison Bacchanal was the disappointment. He was resentful that he was the disappointment, and so him and First Bob lost contact for 30 years. Found each other on Facebook, age-old story, start chatting, yada, yada, yada. He starts playing the victim boyfriend role and saying to Bob number one, all my girlfriends are psycho. I don't know how I always end up in these situations.
Right. Back
to Alex, who always looks like she's on the verge of tears. So, party wraps up. It's 4:30 in the morning. She's brushing her teeth. And he is up and goes in the kitchen. So, she fired up, right? She had this fuck you party and all of that, you know what I'm saying? Paper plates and hats, cone hats made out of, this nigga's passport or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So she's talking shit from the bathroom. Oh, you up, huh? What you doing in the car? Oh, I bet you feel stupid, huh? Bong. This nigga booms in the bathroom while she's brushing her teeth.
Chokes the shit out of her.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Pushes up her against the wall and tells her she's stupid and she made a mistake. Then he leaves and he goes to his room. She's scared and she's angry and she's all justifiable, right? All no, you don't. We hands no. All of this is justifiable. She barges in his room after with the adrenaline she got going on. Which, pause. Why didn't somebody spend the night after that fuck you party?
Why did she stay? She should have left and went with her mom.
She should have went to her mother's house. Like, this is where y'all be so brave and want to enter caves and rooms and dark places with no weapons and no lights and be like, well, what's going on in here? Why would you stay in the apartment knowing that you just had this fuck you party and this nigga's not right?
Right.
But you got to prove a point, because white women always got to prove a point. So she barged in the room. She's like, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. He's feeding the cat with a knife in his hand. It's 4:30 in the morning, right? 5 o'clock at this point, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They get into it, and he slams her leg in the door more than 10 times.
Multiple times. On some wrestling shit.
Swinging the knife at her. And ends up cutting up her leg. So she calls the police. They come. They're questioning her.
Because at first they did not want to believe her as to,
Nope. And then.
And this one.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The detective looked upon her neck and he said, what's that on your neck? Like, were you like, what was going on? He was like, were you choked? She said, yes, I was. By who? By that man right there.
Yep.
All they needed, because he was like, oh, that's choking marks. So that's how they were to arrest him.
Yep. So and also they look down, she bleeding down her leg.
Right.
So
they got him on assault charges.
Protection order. He's in jail. She's relieved, but she knows that time is running out. So while he's in jail, she's cleaning out his stuff, and that's when she finds all of the documents.
Yeah. She finds that's what she finds out what he did to Arlene and Sonia.
Yeah. And what else did she find? There is a gun somewhere.
Oh yeah, there was a gun in the house somewhere, and then she flipped out because she was like, I don't know when this nigga could come back and come out and shoot me.
So Harry, older brother Harry, bails his brother out of jail.
Bails him out.
Mother, wants her to leave.
But she's like, no, I refuse to live in fear. Hear me roar.
Like, bitch.
Little does she know that property management is like, girl, we don't want this.
You gotta go. Okay, you're full of drama and negativity.
Yeah, property management threw her out. So
now I have to say, even after all that trauma and all of that, and even going forward, she does, as she's telling the story in this moment. You got to be on Patreon for this. Sorry. She does this thing with her face where she's like, she does this cry and this crazy pout. And I was like,
it's like she's trying not to cry by crying.
But she like pouts like a 3-year-old. It's crazy. So, he's out and he's like, I need my stuff. So they're like, okay, we'll bring you your stuff, all of it. Like, it ain't no problem. Mom says, we're gonna bring you your stuff. You're gonna meet us in the police parking lot. Well, white woman hear me roar. So mom's is like, we'll bring you your stuff. You're gonna meet us at the police parking lot. And the bitch still keeps the nigga's dog. Now, he deserves terrible, horrible, very bad things. But don't you think you want to maybe
ease the tension and just let the shit go?
Just really move on with your life. This has been so much. So she keeps the dog, and when they get there with his stuff, he starts screaming he's gonna fucking kill her, and she's a dead bitch.
In the police station parking lot.
In front of her mama.
And because he's on probation, that was a threat.
So this is now present time, or 2017, should I say. He's telling Bob number 1 how pissed he is at older brother Harry for not giving him a place to stay, because apparently he's now out of Alex's house.
Yeah.
Bob is concerned with how he is talking, so he calls Harry, and he's like, Harry, I'm worried about Jaimison Bacchanal. And he's like, listen, Bob number 1, you need to stay out of it.
Mind your business.
Yeah. He then texts his friend and said that the cat died, Abigail. Remember, this is the cat he stole from Arlene. And that Zachary is gone because Alex didn't give him back to her. Bob number 1 thinks he killed the cat. Said the cat died in his arms. And he's like, knowing all that I know now, I don't want to think about it, but I think that nigga killed that cat. The cat
I
didn't
don't know
deserve
about that, though. He did it, but I don't know if he killed the cat, though.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Me either, but I also just, I don't know. I mean, he had bigger fish to fry.
So, again, he cannot go back to Alex's house. He's pissed at his brother for not giving him a place to stay, as he's telling his friend. And he's supposed to meet his brother and his sister-in-law, I guess. But his brother never shows up. I don't know why they were going separately. I missed that part. His brother
I think he was on a business trip of some kind, and he was supposed to come home and didn't.
Brother doesn't show up. So his wife is like, where's my husband? Puts in a missing persons. They go to the house. And it is a violent, bloody scene where it looked like there was definitely
a struggle.
There. And they go down to the basement, and that's where Harry's body was, his older brother. They also find that somebody has come in and changed into Harry's clothes before they left. And then they get alerts from Harry's cell phone that his card is being used at the hotel.
So
Take it home.
They go down to the Ramada, and they send in SWAT and take him down and bring him into custody.
Oh, you missed the biggest part.
Oh, where he tried to have a shootout?
No, they go to bust him at the hotel, and he comes out doing what? Swinging an axe.
Nigga X about me, nigga X about me, nigga X about me, nigga X about me. In the kitchen with soda, in the kitchen with soda, nigga X about me, nigga X about me.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Struck a cop in the face. Another one.
Oh yeah, 2 people died, didn't they?
I don't know. They just said that it struck him. I don't know if they died, and they had to tase this nigga to take him down.
Yeah. Yes, they did tase him, because I remember saying to myself, if this was any other person, if he was black, he would have been dead 4 times before he hit the ground.
Absolutely.
Well, first of all, he would have been dead way before then.
But it's very... I can't believe you didn't remember that happened when the nigga witnessed.
I do remember now. It's just, remember, I saw this about 2 weeks before you did.
Yes. So he's swinging the axe, busting people up. So, of course, they tase his ass, put him down, take him out. Don't kill him because he's white. So he has a hearing, and Alex the white lady from Philly who looked like she was about to cry all the time, says she's showing. I'm going to this hearing. She's like,
hear me roar.
I need to look at him in the face. You know how they are. He don't show up. She gets mad. How dare this pussy ass nigga don't show up for this hearing? Well, there is a reason.
Yeah, he caught a lot of hang time.
Oh my God. It's your stance right now with how pleased you are with yourself. That's disgusting me. This nigga
Whatever, I
slapped
thought that
his
was
knee.
funny.
He said cross-legged, you terrible motherfucker. Yeah, that nigga he hung himself in a cell. Took himself
Yeah,
right
suicide
on.
is not funny. Suicide's not funny, but he was a menace and
he's
killed
a terrible,
somebody.
awful human being. No, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible person. Because I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, before I found out exactly what happened and they were talking about the gun and blah, 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 I was like, he about to bang it on himself? Like, what's... But...
I wasn't expecting it to be the brother. I thought it was going to be one of these roommates situations.
Well, me too, but they was all talking. So at a certain point, I was like, well, somebody's missing.
True.
So he hung himself, and she's pissed. Coward. Pussy ass nigga. How dare he not show up for what he deserves. So at this point, it's really sad because the sister-in-law lost her husband. If they had kids, they lost their daddy. Like, that man did not deserve to die. But also, why the fuck did you bail your raggedy ass brother out of jail twice? Without having
maybe
no
on
real
the
backstory.
Right. Maybe on the... And it sounds like, you know, his older brother did those things because he knows that he knew that his brother had issues with him. You know what I mean? Like that, and to make amends, like, you know, like, I know that shit was fucked up with you because you weren't me
perhaps,
or my,
yeah.
you know, so he felt guilty. That's why he, you know, and plus he's your brother. Like, he's like, you know, I love him. I'm probably gonna bail him out. And also, we don't know what kind of lies or whatever was told to him either.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That was the main part. So yeah, he killed himself, and everybody revisited the places in which he terrorized them in the end.
And nobody can go back there anymore.
And nobody can go back to any of those places.
Big sad.
And that was it. Nigga, that shit was wild.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
So, go watch it. It's on Netflix.
Yes.
Watch the whole series. It's great. Thank you all for watching and listening. We'll see you tonight on Patreon for Family Feud Night or Family Game Night 2, Divas Edition. Director's Cut, you'll find on Patreon. That's where you sit with Jade and myself, and we talk to you about you know, all the good shit that goes down. Q&A if you want to just sit and chat and, you know, vibe with us and you know, watch the show. It's a good time. Yeah. So check out Patreon for more information, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye. Stop for Abe.
Yes, we're moving on.